The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, and welcome to the webinar. Ron here at Ablesys. We'll go over the charts and trades, and I'll show you what a buy signal looks like, a sell signal, stop loss, and a no trade zone, where the software is telling us don't do anything, because it's just as important to know when not to trade at all as it is to know, where to buy and sell. It's just as important to know when not to trade. Sometimes cash and going to cash and just doing nothing is the right move. It's the best move, especially before the markets get choppy and sideways. And that's what the guidance chart does. It's two time frames combined into one chart. So it really helps us to pick out where these no trade zones are, meaning it's too risky to take a trade right now. You're better off just doing nothing or moving on to something else. So that's really helpful, especially in a choppy, sideways kind of pattern, whatever market you're looking at, because the software works equally well, whether you trade stocks or futures, FX, whether you're a day trader, swing or position trader. It's exactly the same for everything. It's the same colors and dots. It's the same couple trading rules. For as complex as the algorithm is, we keep it simple and just put colors and dots on the chart. Blue means buy, or first blue means up, red means down, and green is just sideways, stay in the trade, maybe pull back or sideways. The big dots are the higher time frame, the smaller dots are the lower time frame. So what we've done is we have a daily chart here, it's a daily stock chart of ENDP. We've got a daily stock chart here, and we've added the weekly hidden support and resistance points. The big red dots is the invisible resistance that the algorithm is able to see for us. And the big blue dots is the weekly hidden support, which blocks the price from going lower. The red dots block the prices from going higher, just like it did right there. And the blue dots block the prices from going lower. So we've got double support under the price. We love that. That's a perfect buy signal right here. Blue bar, blue dots, daily dots, blue weekly. Now, you're not going to get a big blue dot under every bar because it's a weekly dot. It only comes in once a week. These are daily bars and daily dots. This is a classic no trade zone. Back over here, the software told us it's just going to go sideways or be choppy. Don't do anything. Well, that's exactly. Fast forwarding, a month later, that's exactly what happened. It just went sideways and stuck in a sideways pattern. Notice how it went down to the blue dot here, bounced off, and it went up. Went to the red dot up here, bounced off, and it went down. It's like, wow, Ablesys was right. The prices really did get stuck in the middle of the red and blue dots. We told you that a month before that even happened. But there's your perfect buy signal. Not here, because these dots come in once a week. So you don't buy if there's a red dot above. In this case, being in a daily, weekly chart, there's 5 trading days in a week. So we've got to wait a week to make sure there's no red dot above. Because when you have a big red dot above, it's valid and good for 1 week going forward. The same way thing if we were looking at a 1 minute, 3 minute chart and there was a red dot above, that would be good for 3 bars into the future. And I always like to wait a 4th bar just to make sure it doesn't come in. Good stuff here. And then as you can see here, any one of these blue bars, you had about 5 or 6 opportunities here to get into the trade before it shot up. Once it shoots up, that's too late. Now you're chasing after it. But Ablesys gave everybody about a week here to get into this trade. Triple confirmation. A blue bar, that means up. A blue daily dot, well, that means up. And a blue weekly dot, well, that also means up. Triple confirmation, you had double support under the price in case we were wrong, because there's a guarantee you're going to get some losing trades. However, we've always put stop losses in place. So if you got in over here, there's the blue dot under the price. There's where you put the stop loss, at the next lower row of blue dots. Second level of blue dots below the price. Second step down, not the first step down. Not the blue dot under the price, the second step down. That's where we would put our stop loss, which we always put a stop loss in immediately when we make a trade. And as the dots go higher, just always lag to that second lower blue dot. For example, you stayed in this trade for 4 months. Ablesys users had access to this. $6.50 is when the Ablesys said to get in. Well, right now, today, it's 17.5. That's a lot of money, almost 3 times your money. 300% in 4 months. I take that. I take that any day. Notice it hit the blue dot here, bounced off and it went up. Hit the blue dot here again, bounced off and it went up again. 4, 5, 6 times it kept riding along the blue dots. We started those blue dots 4 days before that even happened, because there's where the stop loss is, the second level down. Now the arrows kind of just give us a heads up. It just kind of tells us stay in the trade. They kind of flash in and out, and they just tell, they're not buy and sell signals, the arrows. They're just telling us stay in the trade, you're safe, things are going good, we're okay. So it's nice to kind of give us a little bit of a good feeling that everything is fine, stay in the trade. Again, they're not buy and sell signals, just kind of a heads up or a warning what looks like is coming up, in the very near future. Good stuff here. A lot of money on all these charts. You just have to have the discipline to take the trades. And like I say, they'll be losing trades and they'll be losing days. I can guarantee it. Going to be obviously a lot more winning days than losing days, or we wouldn't be here all these years. But there will be losing days. It's just the way the market goes. There's no perfect system out there. I wish that was true, but it's just not. Okay. British pound. I like a longer time frame for the currencies just because they trade a little differently than like the U.S. E-minis, the U.S. indices. 10, 30, 10-minute, 30-minute combo, 15, 45, 30, 90. Those are good charts for the Forex market. Obvious no trade zone right here. Red dots above, blue dots below. It's a software telling us don't do anything. It's going to be choppy or sideways. Leave it alone. It's too risky to trade your money. Able trend is only about low risk trades only. Otherwise, you won't get a valid signal. But we got a perfect triple confirmation right in here. You've got triple blue bar, blue dot, blue weekly. This is a 1030. So you've got a 10-minute, a 30-minute hidden support under the price, double support. And this one went nicely. There's only 2 exit rules. Only 2. A red bar where the red dot comes in, because again, red and blue are opposites, or a stop out when the prices go under the blue dot to the previous lower small blue dot. It'd be stopped out there or out on the next red bar right there. So that was a nice, little winner. Then you have a triple confirmation short trade. And then we put the stop loss at the second higher row of red dots. Opposite of the blue, when we're going long, we put the stop losses at the second lower row of blue dots. Right? It's the opposite when we're going long. And then we're completely out of the trade right there. So that was another winner overnight for especially traders in like Europe, which is FX is very popular in Europe and Australia and other countries. Another no trade zone here. We got out of the long trade, or short trade, but we're definitely not going long because of the red dots above. The arrow's kind of giving us a little heads up saying, this looks like this wants to go higher, but it's not ready yet because of the red dots above. That's like a wall there. The red dots are like a wall. It's a wall of resistance that's going to block the price from going higher. Here we have our perfect triple confirmation buy signal, and it's a semi-sweet spot. I love when the prices pull back down. The bars go from green, pull back down to support here, bounce off of it, and the bar goes from green to blue. When that bar closes blue, the open of the next bar right there, we're going long. That's a really high percentage trade. That's very, very low risk. Love when it goes from a green bar to a blue. At the close of the blue, where you got a lot of odds tilted in your favor. That's just what we want. We want the odds, strongly in our favor before we go long or short. And that's exactly what this would do. Green bar, pull back, triple confirmation, regardless of winner or loser, that's a really low risk trade. And looks like we're still in the trade. That's why it's moving here. We're technically still in the trade. This one was a real good one here all day today. About 10:10 Eastern is when it came in, and we're still in it now. But the market goes very flat right now because it's like after midnight in Europe, and there's no trading going on at the moment. Good stuff. Just have to have the patience to wait for the trades and the discipline to actually make the trade. It's all about, emotions. That's why the software does so well. It has no emotion. You and I, we have an emotion, and we can try and curb that, and we can try and check that, keep our emotions intact, follow the software. Boy, that gives us that really puts the odds in our favor. Can the up and down arrows? Two things, just to remind everybody. For the last couple of weeks now, we now use Able Trend TS on the upper and lower time frames. So on the lower time frame, TS and the Bollinger Bands. On the higher time frame, TS and Able Trend SIG. Able Trend SIG are the arrows, Ken, and I just made them. I made them up arrow and a down arrow. They come across as dots, but I changed the buy stop to an up arrow and the sell stop to a down arrow for Trend SIG. It's like a heads up indicator, as I said when we were starting the webinar. It's a heads up. It's kind of like a warning or a heads up or stay in the trade. Everything is kind of looking good. It's not a buy or sell signal. It's just like a forward-looking indicator to kind of alert us what's going on. Keeps us in the same direction. So we used to use Able Trend 2 on the upper time frame. It's just a minor adjustment, but it's better. So obviously anything better. That's my job, is to work on this every day and make sure that we come up with the very best combinations. And we don't change this often. As a matter of fact, very, very, very few times. Maybe once or twice a year we might. But we use an Able Trend TS instead of Able Trend 2, and we're adding Able Trend SIG to the higher time frame. And I just make it an up arrow for the buy stop and a down. Up arrow for the buy stop and a down arrow for the sell stop. And then that's what the chart looks like. The first hour of trading, we didn't have a trade, which is a good thing because it was an unbelievably choppy hour. There's just no way you could have made any money on this. It just was impossible. I'm so glad, and so many people told me this too, but they have Able Trend because it just kept us out of trouble. I mean, it was just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It was just horrible. It was impossible to trade. But Able Trend, we didn't have one trade. Why? Because of the 10-point rule. We don't want to start a trade in the mini NASDAQ that's 10 points away from the first row of small blue dots. Because the further the prices are under the red dots, the greater the chance it pulls back. The same thing for the red dots, by the way. We just want to make sure that the price is within 10 points of the small red dot or the small blue when we're going short, or within the small blue dot when we're going long. That's all. Just a simple rule. Plus, we would never go long when they hit the upper bands. It didn't matter. They were way more than 10 points away from the blue dots anyhow. Obvious no trade zone, red and blue dots. Oh, I just put X's on this chart. I just made X's because some people use X's and some people use dots. So I just changed up the charts. It's just personal preference. A dot and an X is the same thing. No trade zone there, no trade zone there, no trade zone there. Look at all these no trade zones that Able Trend kept us out of trouble. Gotta love that. I wish every day could have been like the last 3 days. It was probably one of the best 3 days. 3 days in a row, I think we might have had all year long day trading futures market with Able Trend signals. It was fantastic. Yesterday was 80 points profit. 80, not for the week, which I mean anybody would be happy for that for the week, for the day on a 1 minute NASDAQ chart. Today, not so good. Ugly, kind of a choppy day. Nothing we can do about that. We can't control the price action. But it was kind of ugly and choppy, and that's going to happen. That's the business. Not the part we like. It's definitely going to happen. In fact, we had the buy signal right here, because that's a triple confirmation buy signal, and we were stopped out and we lost 5 points on the first trade. That's okay because we avoided this entire mess. The only reason we didn't get in over here is because it was just way too far from the risk was too high. Our stop loss would have been like 20 points away from the price, and we just won't risk that. We'd rather be patient and wait for a sweet spot. Nice trade here. It's a buy signal there. We got our 5 points back. The arrows just told us stay in the trade. We're looking good. The arrow kind of gave us a little bit of a heads up there. And that was about a 5 point. So we kind of got our money back really on that trade. Triple confirmation, short trade right here. Sweet spot, and also a sweet spot. Got a break-even trade. No trade zone. No trade here, too far away from the dots. Actually, none of that. They were all too far from the dots. Just don't want to risk it. You can adjust that to 15 points or anything you like. We're very conservative and we use 10 points. Very simple rule. We just won't enter a trade if it's more than 10 points from the small red or blue dots. That's it. No trade zone, no trade zone, no trade zone. Boy, it kept us out of a lot of trouble. And, just so on the rest of the day. It was just a choppy mess. But all of these no trade zones sure did help a lot. Wow, it sure did help. Good stuff. Had a nice little, right at the end of the day, we had a nice little pop, hit the upper bands. We always take profit when the prices hit the bands if we're trading multiple contracts. So it was just, that kind of up and down, kind of a narrow range, sideways, choppy, bad day. But that's okay because probably half the day, if not more than that, we just didn't have any trades. And again, yesterday, trading the E-mini NASDAQ was 80 points profit for anybody who had the discipline to take the trades. The days before that was like 30 and 40 points. So the last 3 days was the best 3 days of the year. However, not so much fun today. Hey, Anthony says he took that NQ trade at the end of the day for 14 points. Nice. I love when I hear that. Boy, I just so glad when everybody does well. Good job, Anthony. You've been doing really good. You just got it last week and he's already having a really good week. James says, sorry, review again TS on the lower time frame and signal on the 3-minute. TS on both, James. TS on both. Able to trend TS on the 3-minute or any lower time frame, any intraday chart that you like to use, and TS on the upper. I also use T-SIG. Able to trend SIG and able to trend TS on the higher time frame. You'll get those arrows on the chart if you make the arrows. I use the buy stop up arrow, sell stop down arrow, the trend SIG. But otherwise, we use an able trend TS on the lower, TS on the upper, and it's been really, really good. So that's about it. Just stick with it. I'm always here to help. Always glad to help. Do anything I can for you. Let me know how it's going. And everybody's going to get a very nice discount who's on a trial. We always give a discount before the trial finishes. And anybody new on a trial, to really get your money's worth out of the trial, and I'll gladly do a live one-on-one trading session with you. So just tell me when you're available, and that's really important. We'll take a look at the charts that you like to trade. I can always best when we can talk one-on-one and show you everything possible. So thanks for being here, everyone. Hope I was helpful. Have a good night.